Hi, this is Black Krishna or BK from manfulwars.com, where I'm promoting polite patriotism to help nice ladies and gents teach kids to be, to help us all look, walk, talk, and feel great, and to help us locally discuss and share great online info offline as better people making better places to live. So instead of getting censored into digital ghettos where we talk to people of like minds, we can actually respect each other and communicate well and reach out to new people and trade different ideas more easily if we are polite patriots and we can beat a lot of the bitching and screaming going on out there, endorsed by the mainstream media, and the polarization out there where they want us divided and conquered, and when we can beat that. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, get in touch with questions, answers, ways to work together, or financial support, or use clips of this, or repost this if you'd like. Let me know, or just do it on your own, or use clips of these videos in your own if you think they help. And we'll get on to the video. So it says, so this video is called Donald Trump Helps 100,000 Rape Victims. Why don't we hear about this? Donald Trump helps 100,000 rape victims. Why don't we feel about this? Now, alleged rape victims, potentially, but the point is, that's what he recently did. And like with a lot of stuff, Trump, right? There's ideas out there. Is he doing the right thing? Besides the people that are totally pro-Trump or totally anti-Trump, there's sort of people with a more nuanced impressions. For example, I'm more pro than anti, but I know more of what he's up to, as far as I can tell. And I think that by and large, he's doing a lot of good things while making some compromises that you can agree or disagree with to deal with the different stakeholders. So, for example, you might be like, well, why isn't Trump taking on the military-industrial complex? And he's not taking them on as much as he is bribing them to support him and to support America and to support his America First agenda. So he's trying to end the endless wars in the Middle East that kill tons of people, that cost tons of money, that destabilize the world. He's trying to end tons of foreign wars and regime change wars, right? So you might think, oh my God, Lockheed Martin is going to be pissed. They're going to friggin' kill him. Oh my God, the other major military-industrial complex firms are going to kill him. But instead of killing him, they're going. He says, I'm authorizing the largest increase in military spending ever for our military, for our great war fighters and soldiers. Like he's he's basically bribing them in a different way. He's saying, okay, you're not going to make a ton of money, Halliburton or whoever, blowing up the Middle East, but you are going to make a ton of money by buying us new battleships or fighter planes, or making stuff for us to sell to our allies. So he's working a complex art of the deal game where it doesn't always look good, but over time you can sort of see the results. Or when he does do certain things around the world, he talks tough, he'll even act tough at times, but ultimately if you see it play out over the course of a few weeks or a few months, you'll realize, meh, nothing that bad happened, right? The Middle East isn't invaded again and blown up again and attacking us again. Terrorist attacks aren't showing up everywhere because they're all pissed off at us or whatever. North Korea hasn't attacked us, even though there's some negotiations and tough talk, and then negotiations and tough talk back and forth as both leaders try to make sure they're strong for their own people and get the best deals for their countries, right? So it's a more complicated game than just he's good or he's bad. If you're anonymous on 4chan or 8chan, you can say or do whatever you want. If you are in a real position of power, dealing with other people in positions of power, you've got to be more calculated. So he's basically saying to the rich people, you can still be rich, right? You can even be richer, right? But support America first. Support America first policies. And instead of making the rich people richer at the expense of the middle class and poor, for example, he's saying, no, everybody can be richer, right? Up all these tax cuts, all the regulation cuts, all of the infrastructure spending. The average American family is $5,000 a year richer because of the tax cuts and so on, right? And because wages are going up. So he's doing a lot of complicated things, right? And in this environment, it's really interesting to see um, the little things that he's doing to help people. Because if you see all the little things that Trump is doing to literally help people, then you can put some of the bigger geopolitical agendas in context, right? And so this is one of the little things. It's a big thing, but compared to potentially World War III with Iran and stuff like that, that who knows, might just be a limited tit for tat strike, and then we're done, no more fighting, as seems to be sort of what the plan is. Um, but it's these little things that he does for people, the little things he says, right? He goes to the UN and he says every country's leaders should put their country first. Every country should be nationalist. Nationalism is the key to make sure you're peaceful, happy, prosperous people getting along with each other and getting along with other countries, right? Globalism sucks. Globalism is dead. Socialism sucks. Socialism is dead. We've got to fight that all over the world. It's like, whoa, these are big little statements, right? Or little statements with a big impact that show you how he's thinking and where he's thinking and why he's so different from so many leaders, sellout leaders we've seen who sell out to globalism and weaken their own country's national interests and turn their backs on nationalism. So this is an example of that. I'm going to share this article from Breitbart.com, Breitbart News, one of my favorite websites, a great news source for politics and pop culture. As late great Andrew Breitbart said, politics is downstream from culture, so culture changes and then political changes follow. So it's good to keep an eye on both. And they've got some fun stuff for you to check out as well. It's not just all heavy politics, heavy, getting sleepy. It's, there's a fun human interest story, or there's a cute story about a dog, or there's some interesting takes on movies or Hollywood or the Golden Globes or sports or whatever. So it's a good comprehensive website. So I recommend Breitbart.com. But from Breitbart.com, it says here, Donald Trump signs law to end rape kit testing backlog. There is the article. And there's a shot of Teflon Don, and this is by Joshua Kaplan from January 1st, 2020. And I'll put a link to this article below just so you don't think I'm pulling a fast one by making this stuff up. No way. Trump hates women. Trump hates women. We got to put on a pussy hat and yell and scream in the streets. No, he doesn't hate women. Trump loves women. Trump, look at all his relationships. Look at all his wives. Look at the fact that he hosted a bunch of beauty pageants. Look at the fact that he's often a gentleman. Now, the one thing they can say, well, they've got some fake sexual assault, rape accusations that often get disproved right away. Nothing goes to court, blah, 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 blah. They try and pin that on him, but all those people turn out to be liars, right? And as far as we know. And then there's the infamous grab him by the pussy comment, right? Which is used to say Trump hates women, right? Well, Trump, that grab him by the pussy comment has to be contextualized, right? Number one, it is locker room talk, as he said. It's just shit guys say to each other when there's no girls around. They're not in mixed company. They're not out in the public. They're not at a mall. They're not at a restaurant, right? They're just talking shit to each other, right? And number two is he was saying that about groupies to Billy Bush, an entertainment reporter who was egging Trump on, right? It was supposed to be a private conversation. This wasn't meant for TV. This entertainment reporter was interviewing Donald Trump, the celebrity, a few years ago, not the presidential candidate or president. And this young Billy Bush entertainment reporter, part of the Bush family, but working in entertainment, he was interviewing Donald Trump. And when they were not interviewing, when he was not interviewing him, when the cameras were supposed to be off, when they were not supposed to be recording, right? You had Billy Bush egging Trump on. You had Billy Bush going, hey, Trump, I bet you get lots of girls. You're a good-looking billionaire. You host beauty pageants. You're world famous. You've got your name on a bunch of giant gold buildings. I bet you get lots of girls. I bet girls let you do whatever they want. I bet the girls just throw themselves at you. And Trump's like, no, I just do my thing. Come on, tell me, man. I'm a young, good-looking guy in the business, in the entertainment business like you, and I would love to be at your level where chicks just throw themselves at you. How good is it? Tell me. How good is it to be a super good looking, world famous celebrity billionaire? How cool is it when it comes to the chicks? And he goes, oh, well, some girls, they love you so much, they'll let you do anything. They'll let you grab them by the pussy, take them back to your hotel room and have fun. They just throw themselves at you. It's pretty crazy. That is the context for that remark. The grab him by the pussy remark is talking about how women feel about him, not even what he actually does with women. Because I've heard he's a bit of a germaphobe. He's typically a gentleman before he gets involved with girls. He's dated tons of girls. Nobody who he's dated, save for even the porn star that he supposedly had sex with. That was more of a cheating thing as opposed to her saying he raped me. She's like, no, I wanted to. He's a rich celebrity. I'm a porn star. I had sex with him, right? And so on. And then he paid me later on to say we didn't, right? Which is, there's some questions around that, but whatever. Maybe that's all true, and maybe he cheated on his wife with this porn star, right? Possible, right? But in terms of him actually forcing himself on women, Harvey Weinstein style, that hasn't come out there, despite his tons and tons of relationships with women at his company, women at his beauty pageants, and so on. And so the grab him by the pussy comment made it seem like Trump was saying you could just grab any woman by the pussy. You could be just doing some grocery shopping, right? And there's a mother of 3 there with her kids, and you can just walk up and go, gotcha, bitch, and grab by the pussy. No, that's not what that comment is about. That comment is about how much groupies like him, right? And he could have said, women love me so much, they let me feel their boobs to check if they're real or fake, right? Like, I love you, Donald, I want to do anything for you. And girls will do that, right? Other celebrities could say that. And Trump was a celebrity, right? Justin Bieber could say that, right? So, and women will be like, yeah, women go to concerts and they throw their panties on stage. They bring their boyfriends to concerts and they throw their panties on stage. They bring their boyfriends to concerts and they leave their boyfriends to jump on the tour van and have sex with a rock star, right? Girls are crazy when it comes to celebrities. That's how much they like them, right? And so he was commenting on that level of fame when it comes to women. He was not saying that, he just likes to randomly grab any girl by her pussy or that anybody else should. He's saying some girls love me so much, like any other groupie loves any other celebrity that they happen to love, rock star, TV personality, whatever, sports figure, athlete. Athletes will say this. Athletes will say, yeah, but girls are waiting for me in my hotel room, right? It's like they find out where I am, they sneak in there, they hide in the closet, and then when I get back after the game, they jump out and they say, please have sex with me, grab me by the pussy, right? Some girls will do that. Other girls no, right? But that level of fame and celebrity, engenders and power engenders that kind of lust from some girls. So that's the only real thing that's kind of sticky when it comes to Trump, and even that can be explained away. So when it comes to these rape victims, this is just another sign of Trump when he's not being a tough-talking New York billionaire, real estate developer, and celebrity who became president. There's a lot of humanity there when it comes to Trump. So again, Breitbart.com, Donald Trump signs law to end rape kit testing backlog by Joshua Kaplan, January 1st, 2020. Let's get into this article a bit, because this is really interesting. Very similar, very, very straight-laced article, but it just shows you that he can be a good guy, right? And he doesn't have to do this, but he's constantly working, and he's constantly thinking of not only the rich people who, some of his biggest donors. He's thinking of how to help the average Joe and Jane American. And then when it comes to his international efforts, he's saying to other people in other countries, you should do the same thing and help the average Joe and Jane Canadian, or Joe and Jane Brazilian, or Joe and Jane Italian, or Joe and Jane Senegalesian, or whatever. He's endorsing this idea, and he's a role model. The U.S. president is the role model for the world. And when you see what he's done for America, you would think countries around the world would be like, yeah, we're going to cut taxes and cut regulations and stimulate our economy so we can have the hottest economy in the world, or one of them, just like Trump did. Why aren't they doing that? Because many of them are sellouts to globalism and globalist ideas to weaken their countries for more globalist government, whereas Trump is a nationalist saying, nope, We'll be happy to trade with people, but we don't want to be managed centrally by the UN or World Trade Organization or World Bank or International Criminal Court or any of these people that are above our country telling us what to do. And you should do the same thing. And we're going to get out of these international agreements that guarantee our resources to different companies and guarantee that we've got to go through international tribunals to negotiate, what we want to do with our country. No, we're not into that crap, right? And that comes to that's when it comes to the big things and even the small things, even the little things that are done in countries. And part of this is because liberals and the left typically, although leaders in general, frankly, but especially on the left, they need people to be weak and need more government so they can increase the size of government to control people. On the right, they're more, we want limited government, we want the government out of our lives, we want lower taxes, we want smaller government, we want to have some say in how we educate our kids, all these sorts of things, right? And so that's from a more nationalist, conservative, right-wing perspective as opposed to the left. So when it comes to the left, they'll often do a bunch of things that progressively weaken people when it comes to bigger deals, international trade deals, or it comes to smaller deals when it comes to helping people help themselves, right? And you'll see a lot of organizations that are responsible for Native or Aboriginal affairs and so on. They get bigger and bigger and bigger, but the natives and the Aboriginals get more and more screwed. Now, how is that happening when the Department of Indian or Native Affairs, had a $10 million budget 100 years or 50 years ago, and now they've got a $10 billion budget, and the natives are more screwed than ever, right? That's an example of those type of policies, and I believe, generally speaking, Trump is against those type of policies. He wants to do a bunch of big and little things to help a lot of people, and the proof is in articles like these. So anyway, here's the article from Joshua Kaplan from Breitbart.com, Breitbart News. President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed legislation aimed at ending the backlog of rape kits nationwide. Presently, at least 100,000 rape kits are untested in the U.S. and are likely to remain so without adequate funding to test DNA in a timely fashion. So 100,000 rape kits. A rape kit is if a woman, possibly a man, has been raped. There's a kit. You call the cops. You go to the hospital. They take a swab and they swab your genital area, other areas of your body, and they try and look for the DNA or semen, for example, of the person who perpetrated the attack. And if they can swab it and they can find it and they can say, oh my goodness, it looks like you really were raped by this person, or if they can find some evidence of bruising or especially rough sex or whatever, they do a medical exam and they have to verify all of that. If they can find your DNA on the victim, then it shows you at least had sex with them and probably raped them, right? Or possibly raped them. And if they can't, after they do the test, then it's possible the victim was lying, and that happens too. There are many cases where women lie about being raped, seeing themselves as a victim, seeing themselves as put on. Maybe they had sex with someone and the guy didn't call her back the next day, so she thought she'd get him back this way, right? Those things happen too. So it's important for the legal process to work itself out, right? Because a girl who's going crazy, thinks she's being wild, thinks she's having fun, wants to have sex with a stranger or someone she doesn't know very well, and then later on she regrets it, and then she wants to take revenge on him. That sort of thing happens too. So 100,000 rape kits untested. And Trump was like, nope, we're gonna get them done. We're gonna sign this agreement and this legislation, and we're gonna put more money and resources towards it, and we're gonna get these things done. So if the rape victims out there aren't just waiting day after day, week after week, month after month for some closure when it comes to this, because there are real cases out there, and those girls deserve justice, and those rapists deserve to get taken off the street and thrown in jail and beaten by fellow prisoners. If in fact there's a lot of evidence showing they did do that. So back to this article. It says here, the Debbie Smith Reauthorization Act of 2019 named in honor of a 1989 rape victim whose evidence went untested until 1994. 5 years she had to wait before her rape kit was tested. That's insane. Man, she was raped in 89. And it wasn't until 94 that she actually got the rape kit, the DNA testing to prove that she was raped, and she could finally send this guy to jail. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. This process shouldn't take more than a month. You know, I don't know what the logistics are, the technical details, but it certainly shouldn't take this goddamn long, right? Not with all the money used for this, that, and the other, money for this, money for that. If you got money for this and money for that, how come you don't have money for 5 years for this woman, Debbie Smith, who had to wait from 89 to 94? And this is what I meant at the start of this video when I said all these little things to either make life easier for your people or make life harder for your people, or all these things that on the surface are supposed to make life easier, but in reality just grow the government, increase the size of certain departments responsible for these areas, but don't actually work on solving the problem, right? And there's hundreds of fake charity organizations out there where the leaders get $100,000 a year, the people working there get $50,000 a year, they're responsible for poverty in big cities, and it never gets better, right? Because their main job is protecting their own organization, and they need victims to stay in business. So a lot of times there's a lot of lip service when it comes to victims, but there's not a lot of action. And in this case, there is certainly action when it comes to this. It says here, it'll help fund DNA test training as well as education programs. The law will also fund the Sexual Assault Forensic Exam Grant Program. So you can see, 89 till 94 she waited. At the time, there was a conservative president, George H.W. Bush, the first George Bush president. Then after that, there was Bill Clinton. In 92, he got elected, and still, it was still dragging on for years. It's not like either of them took this measure as presidents of the United States at the time. Now, I'm not saying that that they even knew about this. I don't know for sure, right? With the benefit of hindsight here in 2019, 2020, we can see that waiting from 89 to 94 for a rape kit to be tested is crazy. But at the same time, these are the things that prove that Trump might be a tough guy, but a good guy. And frankly, to be a good guy, you got to be a tough guy. Because if you're a bitch and you're bitching and someone else has to bitch back and you just bitch with each other, then you're a mess and you'll make somebody else a mess. So you got to be tough enough not to be a bitch. And then if you're tough enough not to be a bitch, you can be a good guy. And that's sort of where Trump is when it comes to this stuff, from what I can tell. So it says here, quote, this legislation authorizes the Department of Justice to provide resources to state and local law enforcement to help make sure that criminals are brought to justice. We know that DNA is much more likely than fingerprints to result in the identification of a criminal, yet thousands of rape kits currently sit untested in labs and on police storage shelves across the nation, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said in a statement. Quote, the Debbie Smith Act originally became law to provide local and state crime laboratories the resources to end the backlog of untested DNA evidence from unsolved crimes. The statement continues. President Donald J. Trump is proud to have worked with Congress, especially with Congressman Wagner and Senators Cornyn and Grassley, to achieve this bipartisan reauthorization, unquote. Each year, $151 million will fund the Debbie Smith DNA Backlog Grant Program. $12.5 million will go towards DNA training and education programs, while $30 million will be allocated to the Sexual Assault Forensics Exam Grant Program, said Grisham. So basically training more people to do this so they don't have this problem later, creating more jobs when it comes to this, and creating more experts in this area and more advancements in this area so you can get better testing and better, more accurate results. And then the rest, I assume, of the 151 million, there's about 42 going to that. The other 110 million or so is going towards getting these kits tested, these 100,000 rape kits tested fast, so these victims can have closure. It's not just the woman, mostly, possibly men, or kids, children, for God's sakes, who've been raped, right? But it's also the people accused of rape, right? If you're accused of rape, and there's that black cloud hanging over your head, you're possibly in jail, or you're out on bail, you might have been fired from your job, you might have lost most of your family and friends, everyone thinks you're a scumbag. If that drags on for years, and in fact you're not actually guilty, you're found innocent, and it was all a huge mistake, and that, person who accused you was being a bitch, then you deserve some closure too, right? So it sucks for both parties. It sucks for the victim if they're a real victim, or it sucks for the accused if they were wrongly accused. um, Now it says here, quote, not quote, but reading the article, in a statement to CBS News, Carol Messam Gordon, an official at the Palm Beach County Victim Services and Certified Rape Crisis Center, said the funding will help fund new hires, resulting in more expeditious DNA testing. Quote, this funding makes it a little easier for them to hire new staff in their forensic lab. It makes a difference with the amount of kits that can be tested quicker and more readily so victims can have the response they need, and also for those cases to move even smoother through the criminal justice system, Messam Gordon said. So that's the article. So how come in the quote-unquote Me Too era, the Me Too era, me too, I was molested too, I was abused too, this is it, we need to do something, there's so many victims out there, men can be such scum. How come in the Me Too era we don't hear about this? You would think, even if you hated Trump, you still love women. And so this would be great news to get out there to say, hey, this is good. The system's working for you. It's not working against you. This is good news. You should be happy about this. We should all be happy about this. Why don't we hear about this? Why? Because Trump's doing it, and they want to take out Trump because he's doing a lot of good things, and they don't want these good things done. That's why this stuff wasn't done before. That's why the situation was so crappy before. And so it's important for us to kind of understand and share this. This is sort of a micro thing. When it comes to Trump, there's sort of bigger issues, and there's sort of, how do you get along with a bunch of people who are brainwashed to hate him without them bitching and screaming at you, and so you kind of got to go, I don't like him either, sure, what am I supposed to say, right? Or celebrities and other people in positions of power who have evil people in positions of power above them who hate what he's doing, and they're working for globalist, super rich central bankers who want to run the whole world. Through their international organizations, and they want to fight anybody who's a nationalist that wants to defend their country and their people, their borders, their economy, their sovereignty, their culture. They want to fight against all that, right? That's why we don't hear about this, because this is a really interesting human interest story showing the good side of Trump. And many other people worked on this, the aforementioned senators, other people involved in this process. But this is good news about Trump that makes him seem like a good guy who cares about people, and women especially, and people in general. But women, sure, they're on the list, right? And so it's important for those of us who know to share that, to say, look, there were lots of people in charge, lots of Democrats, lots of liberals, right? And they didn't do anything about this. So, and Trump is. So are you really going to trust them to be good people and consider him to be bad, right? It's not that this makes him perfect and that makes them evil. It's just that you can see he's more effective as a legislator and communicator and leader as president, and he's doing some good things for people, right? And finally, when it comes to Me Too is sort of a we're all a victim, right? Everybody's competing to be a victim idea, right? So it's very dangerous. That's why it was promoted everywhere by the media. It's propaganda. Me too. I was molested too. I was raped too. I'm a victim too. Feel sorry for me too. Pay attention to me too. I'm part of yeah, they're all, it's like, wait a minute, right? Instead of Me Too, right? As a man, I think no way, right? Not hashtag Me Too, but hashtag no way, right? Me Too is every girl competing to get attention because they're a victim because some man was an asshole, right? No way is no, men make sure no, we don't do that, right? Don't worry, ladies, we'll stop hashtag rape culture with a punch in the face if we have to, right? And this is where gender equal, yeah, we're all equal, we're all messed up girls. Girls can do anything men can. Men should do anything girls do. We're all the same. You know how it is. We're all victims. Me too. I think my buddy was playing basketball with me and he rubbed up against me and it didn't feel right. I'm a victim too. Does that count? Right? It's garbage. Right? Gender equal, gender neutral, garbage. Gender responsible is key. Right? And I've tested this with a whole bunch of guys at a construction site, a couple of other guys, talked to them about rape culture, had a rape culture article from some liberal newspaper magazine, Now magazine in Toronto, and I'm reading it. The guys looking at me like they want to freaking kill me. They want to punch me. Their nuts are crawling into their body as I'm reading all this horrible stuff where they say hashtag rape culture, men suck. Even if they haven't been convicted, even if we don't go to court, you should put their names on the internet and shame them. If you're a girl in college and you had sex with a guy and you didn't think he was very good at it, or you didn't whatever, or he didn't call you the next day, or he didn't respond to your text message in time, you should put his name on the internet and accuse him of rape. Yeah, rape culture, yeah, right? It's like, and the guys, they're mad at me. Like, what are you reading this shit to me? I'll fucking kill you, man. Thought we were cool. Like, hold on, man, hold on. I want to get to my point, right? So I skim through the article. I go over it with them. They feel like shit. They feel like they've got to be gender equal or neutral and say, yes, men suck too. All men are potential rapists. Me too. I'm a victim too. Hashtag rape culture too. And then at the end it says we should teach more gender equality at homes, at school, and at work. And the guy's like, yes, equal, we're all equal. And I got these, giant monster construction workers and others individually, as I talk to them, test this sort of thing, trying to kill me. They want to freaking kill me for bringing this shit up and making them feel bad for no reason. And then at the end, I say, okay, hold on, man. I know you hate this. I know you want to kill me. I know your balls crawled up into your stomach because I'm reading this leftist, feminist garbage accusing all men of being rapists and saying rape culture is horrible and every man here is a rapist and every man's at least raped someone and all this other bullshit, right? And they say we have to be equal, gender neutral, gender equal, we're all the same. And I switch it. I say, hold on, man. What about instead of teaching gender equality, we teach gender responsibility? Where you say, don't worry, ladies, when it comes to hashtag rape culture, we'll stop it with a punch in the face if we have to. And you'll see these guys who are feeling like shit from all this shit that's out there and that I'm sharing with them as well, right? You see a light go on. Bing. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, so even if there are some rapey guys out there, and there are, no doubt, I'm not one of them. I'm gender responsible. I'm not equal. I'm not a victim just like that girl screaming she's a victim and scared of every man around. I'm a man. I got girls. I got my mom, my sister, my wife, my girlfriend, my daughter, my whatever. Wait a minute, I'm not gender equal. I'm gender responsible. I'm responsible for being a big, strong guy. And if I'm here on the construction site and there's a chick here and I see some guy raping her, I'm going to stab him in the face with a hammer. Right? I'm not that guy. I'm not, and I'm not equal to the girls who are equally messed up and all me too and all sad and all this and yes, I agree, men suck and no. I'm responsible. I'm a gender responsible man. I got to be responsible for being a man, straight up, cool, don't lie, look another man in the eye, polite and brief, stay busy or friendly to be respected, don't waste my time, I won't waste yours, cool, guys respect each other, keep it moving or chop it up, right? Girls, same, cool, or confident masculine strength meets and confirms the same, so we both know we're men, and then confident masculine strength makes a safe space for confident feminine vulnerability. Girls can be more shy and graceful and attractive and manageable, when they get to be girly and they get to be quiet and shy about it and more manageable. Now, you might say girls don't want to be manageable. That's crazy. Oh, yeah? Tell them they're unmanageable. It's even worse, right? So the point is that you want to be gender responsible, right? As part of this this thinking, as opposed to gender equal or gender neutral. All that stuff is horrible. And like I said, over a dozen guys were like, ugh, fucking hate you, dude. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're right. Fuck this. Fuck that. Anybody does this to anybody I know, fucking kill him. I see this happening to some girl, and I'm just a regular guy, fucking kill him. Right? I hear about this stuff happening, fucking kill him. That guy's not me. And even if that guy's not me, and there are guys out there, I'm not gender equal to some girl that's just miserable and scared about it, right? And scared of all men who are potentially doing this. No, I'm not on that side of this. I'm on the other side. I'm one of the responsible good guys, badass guys, right? Part big softy, part stone cold killer. And so we're good. This shit doesn't apply to me. Right? This shit doesn't guilt me, and I'm not equally feeling bad about it, and everybody, including men and women, paranoid, shrill harpies, men, scumbag, rapists, no. I'm responsible for making sure I'm cool, others are cool, where I am or where I live is cool, and that's that. So this shit doesn't apply to me. Doesn't make me feel bad. Hope it doesn't make you feel bad. And if it does make you feel bad as a gender responsible man, it's my job to clarify this shit for you, to show you how you don't have to feel bad about this, right? So that's the difference, and so that's important. Anyway, and there you have it. For more, you can check out manforwars.com, for example. I got a whole bunch of gender responsible stuff there. And everybody likes it, even if people are kind of sheepish, sideways, and supposed to be like whatever, whatever, whatever. Everybody likes it. And as we get more gender equal, gender neutral, socially constipated, trouble talking with political correctness, gender neutralized, trouble acting like men and women who can respect each other enough to talk, and all that shit, right? All that shit is out there, right? But as that happens, these classic timeless ideas still resonate. Confident masculine strength triggers confident masculine strength in other men, if there's any available, where they go, okay, we can be cool. Cool, we can be cool. Oh, you can't be cool, can't be cool, can't be cool. Wipe your nose with your toes, make each other uncomfortable. No, fine, you can't be cool, right? But if you can, then you can. If you still can, right? And it also triggers feminine vulnerability, where they're like, it's a badass dude. I'm going to be a sweet ass chick and charm him into appreciating me being a sweet ass chick because he's such a badass dude, right? And so you get the best out of girls. If you don't, then you don't get the best. You get them being a nervous, bitchy, sketchy, shrill mess, or whatever, or not wanting to listen to you or talk to you or be cute with you or any of that shit, right? It's that's what happens instead, right? So that's sort of a broader point on the rape culture, victim culture, garbage that's out there that's kind of related to this, and I think it's important to share. And there you have it. So anyway, Black Krishna or BK from manforwars.com. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, or get in touch with questions, answers, ways to work together, or financial support. All that's very much appreciated and needed to grow these efforts. They're popular but rare, and I have 100% HD video proof of how they are very popular, but also very rare because it's so different from all the garbage that's pushed out there. And when people can't respect each other enough to communicate well and laugh about it, it just becomes stuck in your head, right? And any problems you have trouble dealing with other people and working through them. Because if you're all supposed to be victims, then who the hell can help you besides the state, the government, whatever, right? Or, it's a big mess out there if people are equal and neutral and not responsible. You can also use clips of these videos in other videos or repost them. I wouldn't mind being told about it just because for interest's sake or to build a connection with you if you think that's something interesting. If you don't want to, totally fine too. I don't want to bother people, whatever, lose self-respect, take anybody else's, that type of crap. So as you'd like. Otherwise, hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.